Well, hello there. Hi, I'm Susan, and I'm the principal of Duluth Elementary here. And my understanding is that you have some concerns pertaining to the interpreter in your daughter's class. Is that correct?
Yes, I am concerned about my daughter's class. She seems to be missing a lot of information, and the interpreter is leaving a lot because they're sick. And I would really appreciate it if my daughter could have one continuous interpreter throughout her class time. Because her missing a lot is really affecting her education.
Yes, yes. Illness has been a big problem this year with faculty as well as with the interpreter for Sammy, was her name? Sammy, is that correct?
Yes, her name's Sammy. She's in third grade.
Yeah,
She's
I've
8 years old.
I've seen her in the hallway a few times. You know, illness has been a problem and everything, as I was saying, and there aren't many interpreters in this area. We do have a person, an aide, who works with one of the first grade children, and they do have some sign ability. I think we could place her with Sammy in the event of an extended absence of the interpreter. Wouldn't that work?
I don't think that would work just because, my daughter's already so far behind, and it's important for her to stay involved in class every single day. Because I really want her to catch up. And if she's been behind this long, I don't like it. If an aide can sign, that's not a lot of skill, really. It doesn't show that they can actually
Oh, I
interpret.
wasn't I wasn't aware. I just assumed that since she knew sign, she could interpret. I've seen her talk to Sammy.
No, communicating and everything is fine, but actually interpreting in a classroom, this should be an actual interpreter. Because, the teacher's talking, 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 the interpreter's going, 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 and signing. And to be able to hear that, process it all, and then produce it and sign, it's different than just one on one communicating. And the mom's friends jumping in here saying, she's right. Interpreters that don't have training, that's an aid, that's the helper. But there's a difference between an interpreter and someone who can sign. A signer, they have maybe a few months or weeks of language, and that's about it. Versus an interpreter has had in-depth language training. They have more than 3 years of practice. They know the code of ethics. There's so much that goes into it. It's required by law.
So is there teachers are required to be licensed in the schools, of course, to teach. Are there some kind of requirements if we were to look for a sub that we need to be aware of?
Mom's friends explaining how interpreters have to be certified. Each interpreter, if they come in and they're not certified, they have to become certified within 1 year of the job, or else they lose their job. If a person's licensed, like a signer's license, or if a teacher has to be licensed, I'm sorry, if a
So
teacher has to be licensed, an
certified is a
interpreter
better
also has to be
word than
licensed.
if I were to say interpreter license.
And it's
Okay,
technically
well,
called
I know that
certification.
when we hired Sammy's current interpreter, she had graduated from a training school or had gone to school. So I'm assuming that's the training you're speaking of. But as I said, there's not many interpreters in the area. Where do you suggest we go to advertise for a sub or long-term sub in the event that the regular interpreter is out?
The mom's saying, it depends. There's different schools in the area that will have different departments. Um, like if you see other people around, do you have any other options? And her friend's describing contacting IRC. It's a Interpreter Reference Center. they can give you numbers and you can call different interpreters at the center and they can help you find one to replace the current interpreter.
Okay, well, I sure appreciate you coming in to meet with me. I really didn't know there was a difference between signing and interpreting. Um, we will do our best, and perhaps we'll contact this IRC number. If you could provide me with that, I'd really appreciate it. Do you want to set a follow-up appointment about this, or you want to follow up maybe in a month or so to see how the interpreting is going?
I'll contact you if we figure it out. I mean, if you find an interpreter, I'd appreciate it. But as long as my daughter is getting her education, that's the
You're
important part. And
welcome.
thank you so much for your time today. Oh, and her mom's friend's handing the card with the IRC number.